And I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about carbon emissions, carbon reductions. I know that's something that you care about. And can you tell us what percentage of the world's carbon emissions does the U.S. produce?
I think it's less than a fifth, depending how you count it, of which the single biggest economic sector is transportation.
Right, so the government data says 13.49, 13.5% is from the U.S. And like you said, the biggest sector is transportation. What's the percentage of that?
I don't have that off the top of my head.
29%. So if we take 29% of 13.5%, that gets us down to between 3 and 4% of global emissions come from U.S. transportation. What percentage of that is passenger cars and light-duty vehicles?
So I know it's one of the single largest categories. I don't have
about 57% of that. Mm-hmm. So if we take 57% of that second number, we're down around 2%. So if every internal combustion engine vehicle in the United States was magically converted to an EV overnight, what would that say the potential to reduce global greenhouse gas emissions would be?
By that logic, Congressman, none of us should ever vote. We are all doing our part to do something about a global change, and I believe America should lead the world.
I disagree with you on that. We should vote smartly. We should put smart policy in place. And last count, we tried to find the number over 120 some odd billion taxpayer dollars have been put in subsidies for EVs. Now, that's if all the fuel going into these EVs came from non-carbon emitting sources. Do you know how much electricity in the United States comes from non-carbon emitting sources?
Even if all of that electricity came from fossil sources, it would still be cleaner because EV engines are more efficient.
I think you need to go back and look at physics a little bit.
Okay, the physics, Congressman, are that an EV engine is 90% efficient, where even the best ICE engines are lucky to get to 40%.
But the plant that made the energy is not 90% efficient, and internal combustion engines are 25 to 30% efficient, but you've got the efficiency of the generating plant plus the losses in transmission, and don't try to make the efficiency argument. The bottom line is...
Well, I'm definitely going to try to make the efficiency argument because I think it's important.
Well, use good data if you're going to do that.
Sure. Well, the good data is that between the regenerative braking and the 77%
you're talking about once the energy's in
you get to about 90%.
Once the energy's in the EV. But the bottom line is only 40% of energy in the United States comes from non-carbon emitting sources. So that 2%, if you can make every vehicle in the United States an EV overnight, you would be less than 0.9% of world's global greenhouse gas emissions. We're creating great turmoil and change in our country with taxpayer dollars that are being spent inefficiently. I'm all for EVs, but let the technology catch up and don't try to ban internal combustion engines at the rate that you're doing. I'm out of time and yield back. And